Part 3. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 21. During treatment. Sudbai ordered in his mind system, open the attribute panel. As soon as he used the healing skill, he couldn't wait to find out the skill proficiency. Property panel. Host, Sudbai. Physical strength, 2.1. Normal 1. Strength, 2.2. Normal 1. Speed, 2.1. Ordinary people 1. Spirit, 9/12. Ordinary person 1. Witch power, 12. 12/100. Totem, Flame Dragon. Occupation, Junior Wizard. Novelist. Skill, Healing Leave 1. 3/100. Description: you have got rid of the sub-healthy ordinary person and upgraded to a shaman with extraordinary power. Please remember your original intention. Ding. The properties panel is expanding. A virtual page appeared in front of Sudbai's eyes, focusing on the proficiency of Leave 1 of the healing technique, and only 3 points of proficiency were added. He asked in his mind system, use one skill to add a little proficiency. Ding. Yes. It's not difficult to gain 100 proficiency points, but it requires mental energy. One day is only enough to add 12 proficiency points. Sudbai calculated in his mind, and then asked with his mind system, how to restore the consumed mental power. Ding. The host will recover if the rest time is enough, or take some medicine that can restore the spirit, the cold mechanical voice replied. Okay, close the properties panel. Sudbai ordered with his mind. After the attribute panel disappeared, he looked up and saw several pairs of eyes staring at him. Wu, are you okay? Yan Jiao asked cautiously. Never mind, Sudbai nodded, stood up and got out of the way. Yan Jiao, Heiya, and the others immediately pushed forward and stretched out their hands to wipe away the blood on Maimang's abdomen, revealing a trace of tender blood, which was the growth that had just healed. Tender meat. It's so powerful, this is witchcraft. Heiya exclaimed, this is the first time I have seen a witch use witchcraft. Witch, when did you learn witchcraft? Yan Jiao looked at Sudbai feverishly, his red eyes shining with expectation. This witchcraft was passed down to me by shamans. Sudbai squinted his eyes and made an excuse. He couldn't reveal the assistant's skills, so he could only pretend to be witchcraft. Who wants to ask for proof? Can they still ask for a dead witch? That's it. Yan Jiao's fanatical eyes dimmed. He shouldn't have doubted the old witch. He thought that the new witch was gifted and learned witchcraft in one day. It was indeed a bit whimsical. This saves a life. Yanhua was shocked. The palm-length wound healed in 10 seconds. By the way, witch, how many times can you use your witchcraft in a day? Yan Jiao asked curiously. A day, maybe 10 times. Sudbai reserved it twice. If his mental power is exhausted, he will faint. So much. Yan Jiao stared at his red eyes and said in surprise, 4 times more than old witch. Maybe, I am naturally more suitable for this witchcraft. Sudbai found a new excuse without changing his expression. That's great. With the witch's magic, everyone can hunt more prey, Yan Jiao said excitedly. He found that after the new wizard, the tribe was slowly getting better, with new expectations, and it was not as lifeless as before. Yes, if the witch had been there just now, that deadwood wolf would never have been able to escape, Heiya said angrily. Etc. When Yan Jiao heard this, he suddenly felt something was wrong. It's over, Yanhua screamed inwardly when she saw her father's appearance. She moved her little feet slowly and came to hide behind Sudbai. Who among you took the witch away from the tribe? Yan Jiao had a dark face, raised eyebrows, and stared at Heiya and Yanhua with his red eyes. If he was asked to make a choice, only one of the witches and them could live, and he would definitely choose the witch without a second thought. That, Heiya was about to cast his eyes on Yanhua. The chief had to get totem tattoos to beat people. He was also timid and couldn't withstand a few punches at all. I asked for it myself, Subai said gently. Woo, it's too dangerous outside. Yan Jiao's dark face immediately softened, and he said kindly, it's not that I won't let you leave the tribe, it's just that our Yanlong tribe has been hit hard and may be targeted by the exiled totem warriors. Aren't you here now? Subai grinned with a bright smile. Yan Jiao and Heiya were at a loss for words, and suddenly felt a heavy weight on their shoulders. Call, Yan Hua patted her chest and breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that she had escaped and no longer had to be punished by her father. I see. Yan Jiao nodded and said softly, then, let's escort the witch back to the tribe. No, don't go back to the tribe yet. Take me to see the water source. Subai shook his head and said, the goal has not been achieved yet, how can he return to the tribe? No, it's too dangerous over there. Yan Jiao refused without thinking. There is too little water in the tribe. If the water problem is not solved now, if something happens to the totem warrior, won't everyone stop drinking water? Subai glanced at Maimang lying on the ground, as if to say, look, an accident like Maimang's. This, Yan Jiao frowned and thought about it. Considering the water problem of the entire tribe, he also felt that Wu's words made sense. He turned to look at Subai and warned seriously, which, if there is any danger, we will take you back to the tribe as soon as possible. Good. Subai smiled and nodded. Frogming, take Maimang back to the tribe, Yan Jiao ordered a middle-aged totem warrior. Okay, Chief. Frogming nodded and said. Also, Yan Hua also went back. Yan Jiao suddenly turned his head and stared at his daughter. Father, I want to go too. Yan Hua pouted and shouted. No. Yan Jiao refused without thinking. Yan Hua inherited Yan Jiao's stubborn character and knew that she could not convince her father on her own. She carefully stretched out her hand, pinched the hem of Subai's clothes with her thumb and forefinger, gently pulled it, and whispered, please help me persuade my father, I want to go too. Chief, does Awali need an awakening ceremony before becoming a totem warrior? Subai naturally changed his name. When Yan Hua heard Subai call her Ahua, something strange flashed in her heart, and the tips of her ears felt slightly warm and red. It shouldn't be too far apart. Yan Jiao felt a little relieved that the witch called his daughter a nickname, and the two became closer to each other. Is there a chance that the daughter will become a witch? Take Ahua with you, it will just give her a chance to practice her wild survival experience, Subai said with a smile on his lips. Well, now that Wudu said so. Yan Jiao still had a soft heart. He glanced at Niao Jiao Niang and said arrogantly, then just follow. Don't do anything impulsive. Good. Yan Hua is smiling happily. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 22. Subai, Yan Hua, Chief Yan Jiao and Heiya, plus a totem warrior, a total of 5 people headed towards the small lake inside the mountain forest. Heiya was clearing the way in front, a totem warrior was behind, and Yan Jiao was with Subai and Yan Hua, guarding them all the way. Click click click. As the 5 of them hurried on, no one spoke, there was only the sound of stone knives cutting branches. Subai broke the silence and asked, Chief, have you found any plants for making linen? No. Yan Jiao shook his head and said helplessly, many of the stems are hard when they are torn apart, and they will break with just a little force. Don't worry, the plants that make linen are not easy to find. Subai comforted him, suddenly thinking of the Yema tribe and wondering what kind of plants they used. When he thought of it, he asked, do you know what plants are around the Yema tribe? It just exists in large numbers. Yan Jiao frowned and thought, then shook his head and said, I don't know, I have never been to the Yema tribe. Are the Yema tribe far away from us? Subai asked with a frown. If you can't find plants for making linen cloth, you have to start from the Yema tribe. You can find out which plants the Yema tribe transports into the tribe, or which plants are planted in large quantities around, and then eliminate them. Get a linen-making plant. It's quite far. I heard my father say that it would take more than 10 days. Yan Jiao said in a deep voice. By the way, how many people are there in a large tribe? Subai hasn't learned about the situation of the big tribes yet. At least more than 10,000 people. Yan Jiao said with a serious expression. So many people, Yan Hua was the first to exclaim, her red eyes widened. It was also the first time she learned about the number of people in the large tribe. Subai was silent. Thinking about it, there are only 72 people in the Yanlong tribe now. The comparison is too disparate. Wu, sooner or later we will catch up, Yan Jiao comforted him. Seeing Subai's depressed look, he thought he had been hit. Of course, sooner or later we will become a big tribe, Subai affirmed. He was just thinking about how to increase the population. He relied on the people in the tribe to give birth to babies. I am afraid that when he dies of old age, he may not necessarily have 10,000 people. As long as we have sackcloth, we can definitely become a big tribe, Yan Jiao said passionately. He thought that when he was the chief, the Yanlong tribe became a big tribe, and he could face his ancestors with a smile after his death. Not that easy. Su Bai poured cold water and said there are too few people in our tribe. It will take decades to become a big tribe. He can't wait that long. He has lived in an environment like primitive society for decades, so let him go. There must be some changes, such as improvements in food, housing, and clothing. When I go back, I will let everyone have more babies. Yan Jiao made a decision with a straight face. No matter how hard you give birth, you won't be able to give birth to many children. Subai was amused, shook his head and said the base of our tribe is too small, we can only introduce some people into the tribe from outside. Looking for outsiders to join our tribe. Yan Jiao was stunned and said hesitantly, will outsiders listen to us? If the totem is here, why won't they listen to us? Subai asked funnily. Yeah, I almost forgot there was a totem, Yan Jiao suddenly realized. Subai saw that Yan Jiao didn't dislike outsiders and asked curiously, you don't dislike outsiders? Not exclusive, my ancestors also joined the Yanlong tribe later. Yan Jiao touched the red horn on his head and talked about some secrets of the tribe. For aliens like me and He Ya, our ancestors all joined the Yanlong tribe later. It turns out that we were not from the Yanlong tribe in the beginning. Yan Hua said in surprise. It was also the first time she heard her father talk about her ancestors. Alien, Subai asked in confusion, finally discovering the origin of the beast-eared girls. Huh? Don't witches know about aliens? Yan Jiao asked in surprise. I don't know, there are no aliens where I come from, Subai sighed. He used to wish that there would be a beast-eared girl on Earth. However, his wish has come true now. There is a horned girl next to him, and there is also a fox-eared girl in the tribe. Wu, you must be from some big tribe that only welcomes purebred people. There was a trace of sadness on Yan Jiao's face, and his red eyes were full of memories, and he said, I heard from my dead father that some large tribes do not welcome aliens. The ancestors were driven away by some large tribes. Finally, the Yanlong tribe kindly took in the ancestors, and we became the ones who came later. Subai did not explain his origins, but asked curiously, are some tribes not welcoming aliens now? Now some tribes have changed, and some tribes also welcome aliens. Yan Jiao has a smile on his face. Chief, do you know where the aliens come from? Subai said softly. From the chief's words, he heard that some tribes did not welcome aliens. I don't know this, and my father didn't tell me. Yan Jiao shook his head. All right, Subai sighed. The clues to explore the origins of the aliens were broken. This is the result of no written memory, and it is passed down to future generations only through oral language. When a certain generation comes, people do not want to talk about it, or change and add some personal thoughts and experiences. Wait, future generations will receive the modified version. Wu, don't you reject aliens like us? Yan Jiao asked cautiously. After he guessed that Wu came from a large tribe of pure people, he became worried, for fear that he would hate the aliens from the Yanlong tribe. Yan Hua also became nervous, her red eyes quietly observing Sudbai's face. Ha! Why should I reject aliens? Sudbai was stunned for a moment, glanced at the horn girl subconsciously, and said gently, on the contrary, I think aliens are very cute and interesting. Yan Hua's eyes just caught Sudbai's glance, her cheeks suddenly turned red, and she turned away embarrassedly. Ha ha ha, just don't reject it? Yan Jiao laughed heartily and secretly raised his eyebrows at his daughter, as if to say, daughter, your chance has come. When Yan Hua saw her father's little move, her cheeks turned redder and her heart beat faster. As if pretending to be a deer. Asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, and asking for monthly votes. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 23. Chapter 23, Pure Beast. Seeking for collection. Just when the atmosphere is getting a bit ambiguous, Blacktooth came back from exploring the road in front and said in a low voice, Wizard, Chief, we are almost at the small lake. He did not dare to make too much noise. The small lake was the only water source nearby, and there might be ferocious beasts preparing nearby. Going to drink water. Well, be careful and try not to make any noise. Yan Jiao immediately had a serious face. The road they are taking now is not the road that the totem warriors take to get water. That road is relatively close but very dangerous. If there are only totem warriors, they will not be afraid of being intercepted by ferocious beasts while carrying buckets. But if taking Sudbai and Yanhua with them, they couldn't run wildly. They could only take this long and circuitous road, which reduced the risk by more than half. Good. Sudbai and Yanhua nodded. The five of them continued to move forward, slowing down a lot. After walking for a few minutes, a dry creek appeared in front of them. Do you know when the creek stopped flowing? Sudbai asked in a low voice. When we arrived, the stream had already stopped flowing. Yan Jiao lowered his voice and replied. Do you know when this creek will have water? Sudbai didn't know the seasons in primitive society. It is the dry season now, there is not much rain, and it will take more than 50 days for the rainy season, by which time there should be water in the creek. Yan Jiao said after making an estimate. More than 50 days is too long. Sudbai shook his head. In the past 2 months, the tribe would only use more and more water, and they would not be able to hold on until the stream could flow again. He stepped into the dry stream, squatted down and dug it with his hands. Digging in the mud, I found it was dry and without any moisture. No, it's difficult to dig a hole in a place like this without getting water out. Sudbai decided to go to the small lake to take a look. The five of them climbed high into the mountains and forests along the dry stream. They could see many footprints of unknown animals along the way. Sudbai looked at the very familiar footprints. It looked like the tiger paw prints on the other side of the earth, but they were about the size of a human head. One could imagine the size of this ferocious beast. He curiously asked Yan Jiao, what kind of ferocious beast's footprints are these? Long-tusked black tiger, with footprints of this size, is at least at the level of a purebred ferocious beast. Yan Jiao had a solemn face, but his tone was a little relaxed. It's fortunate that the long-tusked black tiger only comes out to hunt at night, otherwise we wouldn't be able to escape. Fortunately, it is a ferocious beast that lurks day and night. Sudbai also breathed a sigh of relief. Purebred ferocious beasts correspond to intermediate totem warriors, and the Yanlong tribe does not have an intermediate totem warrior. The group of people walked for another 7 or 8 minutes. There is a small lake in front. Yan Jiao's voice became even softer. Wow! With his keen sense, Sudbai heard the sound of water, followed Yan Jiao and the others, and also saw the small lake. He visually estimated that the diameter of this small lake should be 5 to 600 meters. The surface of the lake was rolling violently at this time, and a huge thing underwater was causing waves. On the shore of the small lake, there are some lush trees and some open areas. You can clearly see many animal footprints on the shore. Are the ferocious beasts under the lake powerful? Subai asked softly. It's very powerful, a purebred ferocious beast, the absolute ruler of this small lake. Yan Jiao said bitterly. If it were just an ordinary mixed breed ferocious beast, they, as junior totem warriors, would not be afraid of it, but if it were a purebred ferocious beast, 10 junior totem warriors would be looking for death together. Another pure beast Subai was a little helpless. He didn't have the strength to hunt a ferocious beast of this level. Wu, this small lake contains more than just pure ferocious beasts. Heya gently tugged at the hem of Subai's clothes, pointed in the direction of the lake shore, and whispered, "Look at the ferocious beasts on the shore over there. There are at least a dozen of these stone-armored crocodiles in the small lake." Subai followed the guide and saw a familiar species, which was very similar to the extinct Deinosuchus on the earth, but the skin and armor were different. The skin of the crocodile was stone-like, and it was uneven like a stone. Sure, the stone-armored crocodile next to it is 4 meters long. It is basking in the sun with squinted eyes. Maybe it is waiting for the beast. Are a dozen of them all ferocious hybrid beasts? Subai asked with a solemn face. Yes, they are all ferocious beasts, Haya said with certainty. That purebred ferocious beast is also a stone-armored crocodile? Subai asked with a wry smile. Yanjiao and Heya nodded in unison. It is too difficult to be a ferocious beast that lives in groups, Subai complained, finally knowing why totem warriors are needed to get water. Wu, let's go back and leave the water collection to us. Yanjiao comforted him. Who doesn't want to occupy a small lake, but he really doesn't have the strength. If you are not careful when taking water from the shore, you will be attacked by the stone-armored crocodile and dragged into the water in the next second. Once you enter the water, you will have no way to escape. Yes, if there is a lot of water, we will make more trips, Heya agreed. Usually they only come 4 times a day to collect water, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, all at a time when the crocodiles are active. Wait a minute, let me think. Subai raised his palms to silence, and his black eyes scanned around the small lake, paying special attention to the situation on the shore. Since there is no way to take it by force, he can only use it wisely. There should be a way, right? Yanhua murmured, her red eyes secretly looking at Subai, hoping to find a way to get water easily so that the tribe would not be short of water. Yanjiao and Heya looked at each other silently, knowing that it was impossible to easily get water from the mouth of the stone-armored crocodile. The two of them didn't say anything more, letting Wu himself give up before he could return to the tribe with peace of mind. Asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, asking for monthly votes, and asking for all support. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 24. The small lake was surrounded by trees, blocking Subai's view. He turned to Yanjiao and the others and said calmly, "Take me in a circle around the small lake." Good. Yanjiao nodded and took the lead in exploring the road ahead. While observing, Subai came to the high slope on the edge of the lake, which was a small cliff, 7 or 8 meters high from the lake. He stood on the edge of the cliff and looked down. He whispered softly, "If we build a few buckets to carry water from here, it seems that we don't have to go to the small lake to carry water." Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Yanjiao's eyes lit up after hearing this. He thought this method was very good. Heya showed his fangs and said, "I'll get some more vines when I come back later." No, the efficiency is still too low. It just reduces some dangers and cannot solve the problem of totem warriors carrying water back and forth. Subai shook his head and rejected this idea. Ah, Yanjiao and Heya were dumbfounded. Why can't it work? Let's go on. Subai didn't explain much. Alright, Yan Jiao had no choice but to lead the way, but in his heart he decided to let the totem warriors fetch water from the cliff in the future. A group of 5 people came to a low-lying area covered with weeds. Huh? It's very nice here. Subai's eyes lit up. He looked at the surrounding terrain and found that the low-lying area was the lowest among the terrain around the small lake. He thought of the dry terrain of the creek and whispered, if the creek is opened from here, then the water level of this small lake it will definitely drop by half. What's the meaning? Yan Jiao and Yan Hua are a bit confused. It's okay if you don't understand, you'll understand after a while. Subai raised his eyebrows, pointed at the weeds in the low areas, and ordered, pull out the grass here, be careful of snakes. Good. Several people responded in unison. Flamehorn and Black Fang entered the low-lying area, and the experienced totem warriors were the first to explore the grass and scare away the wild beasts that might be inside. Subai stood aside and watched the 4 people pulling weeds enthusiastically. From the corner of his eye, he glanced at the bent-horned lady, her buttocks covered by the animal skin skirt, which made people have the urge to take a picture. He quickly calmed down his emotions, glanced around, and measured the low-lying area to the lake. Distance between sides. It's less than 10 meters away. Dig a ditch. If there are totem warriors to help dig it, it shouldn't take long. Subai glanced at Yan Jiao and the others. They were indeed totem warriors. The grass was visibly decreasing. Ho ho! A beast roar came from the distant forest. When Subai heard the beast's roar, he was stunned and frowned. You can't dig ditches. The beast's roar reminded him that if he dug a ditch, it would be immediately occupied by other ferocious beasts and the water source would be polluted by the ferocious beasts. Water pollution is a big problem now. There are more than a dozen ferocious beasts in the small lake. I don't want to be covered in parasites. Subai knocked his head with his hand and whispered to himself, it's a bit unrealistic to filter the water at the source. Oh my god, all the grass has been pulled out. Yan Jiao shouted softly. Oh, Subai calmed down and looked at the muddy low-lying area. After pulling out the weeds, the low-lying area was even lower than expected. He came to the low-lying area, stepped on the muddy mud, squatted down and dug out the mud, using all his strength to kneaded it and found that there was really a lot of water. Someone come and dig down from here until you see sand, Subai said with a smile on his face. He had already figured out how to solve the unrealistic idea of water filtration. Isn't soil the best filter? I come. Heya immediately responded, bending his fingers and digging up the soil quickly. Subai looked at Heya's dog digging dirt speechlessly. The style of painting was so novel. The soil was thrown several meters high, and the few people had no choice but to retreat. Wu, why are you digging a hole here? Yan Jiao asked curiously. Have you never dug a well? Subai asked in astonishment. What is a well? Yan Hua asked in a clear voice. Well, Subai was at a loss for words and explained helplessly, it's just digging a hole from the ground to get groundwater for use. Dig a hole for water? Yan Jiao and Yan Hua said in shock. It's not like there's water wherever you dig a hole, Subai sighed. It is difficult to get water when digging wells in mountainous areas. After all, the geological structure is different. Subai asked Heya to dig the hole because there is a lake nearby, and water can seep into the ground. So if we dig a well in the tribe, can we get water? Yan Jiao asked expectantly. Cannot. Subai shook his head ruthlessly. The location of the tribe was very bad. There were relatively few trees around it. This shows how much water content there is in the ground. The expectant eyes of Yan Jiao, Yan Hua, and the other totem warrior immediately dimmed. By the way, did you know that there are plants with holes in the middle? Subai asked expectantly. He didn't know if there was bamboo in primitive society. If not, he would temporarily give up transporting water to the tribe. He could only ask all the totem warriors to escort the tribe's people to transport water. The one-time transport would be enough. Drink water for several days. Yes, there are several kinds. Yan Hua said in a clear voice. Several, Subai was stunned. Yes, there are hollow trees, red knot trees, and heartless grass. Yan Hua skillfully reported the names of 3 plants. Are these 3 plants nearby? Subai asked eagerly, wanting to see if there was a plant similar to bamboo. Only hollow trees were seen nearby, and the other 2 plants were only found on the ancestral land side. Yan Jiao answered. Too much. How long is it? Is it easy to cut down? Subai asked 3 times. There seems to be quite a lot of them, as long as more than 20 knots. Yan Jiao frowned and thought, then said it's easy to cut. I can break a hollow tree with just a few punches. With more than 20 knots, it is equivalent to 10 meters long, which is really great. Subai relaxed completely. Unexpectedly, he really found a plant that could replace bamboo. Asking for collections, asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, asking for everything. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 25. Subai didn't worry about unknown plants in primitive society. He had to see everything with his own eyes before he could rest assured. After all, it was related to the tribe's water situation. He said to Yan Jiao, get a hollow tree and let me see. Okay. Yan Jiao turned around without saying a word and rushed towards the woods. Chief, let me go. Another silent totem warrior. His name was Digwa, and he quickly said the strongest person should stay here to protect the witch. Well, after Yan Jiao was told this, he realized that the most important thing is the witch. Tisk, Yan Hua glanced at her embarrassed father and couldn't help curling her lips. Her father's impulsive temper still couldn't be changed. Yan Jiao saw his daughter's contemptuous eyes and shouted with eyes wide open, don't be lazy, hurry up and help dig. Pit. Oh, the horned lady made a dissatisfied sound. Seeing that her father was about to get angry, she quickly ran to dig a hole. Snort, Yan Jiao snorted coldly, turned around and saw Subai's half-smiling expression, and he also ran to dig a hole. What an upright chief, Subai complained in his heart. He looked towards the small lake, paying special attention to the stone-armored crocodile on the shore, thinking about how to hunt one to eat. There are many crocodiles farmed on the earth, and they have been served on the table. Crocodile skin is a good thing, not to mention this stone-armored crocodile. The leather armor can be made into natural armor by processing it, Subai murmured to himself. In short, he was already thinking about the stone-armored crocodile in the small lake, and even thought of how to cook it, braised, grilled, fried. It's a pity that now I can only watch it but not eat it, Subai sighed. Woo, we found water, Haya shouted excitedly. Oh, so fast. Subai turned around in surprise and saw that Haya was covered in mud, as if he had rolled in the mud. He stepped to the edge of the depression and saw that the bottom of the depression was dug out by 3 people over 2 meters wide. Meter deep pit. Woo, there is already water here. If we dig further, there will definitely be more water. Haya pointed excitedly at a corner of the mud pit, where some water had slowly seeped out. Then dig deeper and build some rocks around the mud pit. Then the puddle will be covered with branches. Subai quickly gave instructions. The water source must be hidden to prevent it from being occupied by ferocious beasts and polluting the water source. After all, it is possible to defecate anywhere. Good, the 3 of them responded excitedly. Woo, it's so amazing. You can dig out water wherever you choose. You don't have to go to the small lake to fetch water. Haya dug a hole and whispered, worshipping witches involuntarily from the bottom of his heart. Yan Hua bowed her head heavily and glanced at Subai secretly with her beautiful eyes. She was suddenly glad that she was persuaded by the witch and brought him to the water source. Now the water source problem has really been solved. At this time, Yan Jiao also understood why the witch was not here. They got water from the other side of the cliff. It was obvious that there was a better way to get water here. Now the three of them felt convinced by Subai from the bottom of their hearts and had done something they had never dared to think of. Click click click. The sound of branches scraping against each other came from the woods, which immediately made several people nervous. Which, step back. Yan Jiao immediately dodged in front of Subai. What kind of beast could it be? He Ya said in a low voice, his figure following closely to the left. Yan Hua was about to go to the right, but was dragged behind the two of them by Subai. A figure emerged from the bushes, dragging two hollow logs and staring blankly at Yan Jiao and Heiya, who were in formation. Degua, why don't you say anything? Yan Jiao stared at his eyes and said angrily. Degua was stunned and didn't know how to answer. If he hadn't seen Wu Zhe, he would definitely have said, wasn't it always like this before? What are you doing? Get the hollow tree quickly, Heiya shouted awkwardly. They were so nervous about the witch's safety that the two experienced totem warriors failed to distinguish whether it was a ferocious beast or not, which led to such a long incident. Odegwa was very discerning. He knew that the two of them were in a state of embarrassment, so it was better to be obedient, so as not to find an excuse to throw him down a few times when he went back. He placed two hollow logs 7 or 8 meters long in front of Subai. And then honestly step aside. Is this a hollow tree? It's really a bit strange. Subai squatted down and looked at the cut surface of the hollow wood. The two hollow wood in front of him were about the thickness of a thigh, with brown skin and a hole as thick as a thumb in the middle of the wood. Hollow trees are really good things, Subai said with a smile on his face, very satisfied with the hollow tree. It is a natural water pipe, and the pipe wall is very thick. Yan Hua's red eyes flashed with curiosity, and he asked in a clear voice, what is the use of the hollow tree? What to do? Hollow trees are used to transport water, Subai said naturally. Transporting water, Yan Hua was stunned. Yan Xiao, Heiya, and Degua were all a little confused. Why couldn't they follow the wizard's idea? It was the first time in their lives that they heard that hollow trees could be used to transport water. Their ancestors didn't teach them. Live it? Still do not know, Subai tilted his head and asked. Don't know. Several people shook their heads in unison. The water in this puddle is full, is it going to overflow? Subai pointed to the half-dug puddle and slowly explained, if we use hollow wood to bury it in the pit, will the water flow out from the middle of the hollow wood? Connected with many hollow wood, all the way to the tribe. Go, did the water flow to the tribe? Several people took a breath, completely shocked by this idea. Yes, why didn't I think of that? Heiya covered his head in disbelief. Yan Jiao's eyes widened, and he suddenly realized and shouted, connect all the hollow wood, this idea is great. For people in primitive societies, this idea may be very simple, but no one would think about it, nor would they dare to think about such a thing. After all, for people who run around every day to fill their stomachs, it is simply not possible. When I think of using hollow wood to transport water, everyone just gets water from nearby lakes and rivers and just puts it in wooden barrels. My thoughts are restricted. Subai shook his head and felt that literacy education should be prepared. Everyone knows that there is oxygen in the air, but when no one teaches this knowledge, they don't know what kind of gas people breathe to survive. Is it witchcraft to think about things that others cannot think of? Yan Hua stared blankly at Subai's side face. What happened today had an impact on her outlook on life that had remained unchanged for 19 years. Asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, asking for monthly votes, and asking for all support. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 26. Chapter 26, Does She Have a Tail? Please collect. Wu, how can these hollow pieces of wood be connected together? Degua asked curiously. Yan Jiao reacted and asked quickly, yes, both sides can't be connected, and all the water has run away. The most important thing is to connect the hollow wood, otherwise it will be all in vain. Woo, there must be a way, Haya said expectantly. It's very simple. Sharpen one end of the hollow wood into a convex shape, and then enlarge the whole of the other hollow wood to form a convex and concave joint. Subai squatted down, picked up a wooden stick and drew a pattern on the ground. He didn't pay attention to the details now. It was impossible to prevent water leakage at all, but as long as most of the water was transported to the tribe, it would be a success. So that's it? Yan Jiao suddenly nodded. Degwa stared at the graphics on the ground, nodded and said, this is simple, it won't take a while to complete. I knew Wu had a way. Heya grinned and praised. Okay, let's dig the reservoir quickly, Subai said loudly. He has left the tribe for a long time. If he doesn't speed up, it will get dark. Leave it to us. Yan Jiao was very enthusiastic and wanted to transport the water back to the tribe immediately. Let me do it. Degwa stopped the horn girl who was about to dig a hole, and said calmly, I'm faster, you go and protect the witch. The pit is not very big and there is no room for 4 people. 3 totem warriors will dig the pit faster. Good. Yanhua responded quickly and walked to Subai's side with a smile on her lips. Subai looked at the 3 people digging mud with their bare hands and sighed in his heart, it's really a human-shaped excavator. He felt that his fingers were a little weak just looking at it. Digging dirt with bare hands is only what a totem warrior can do. If he were to try it, the dirt and sand would break the skin on his fingers. Time passed slowly, and it took more than half an hour. Finally, a reservoir was dug. It was 3 meters wide and more than 2 meters deep. The bottom of the pond was full of sand. There was now a foot of water. The water seepage speed is not slow. According to the water level of the small lake, it is no problem to store water to a height of 2 meters. Subai made an estimate in his mind. Wu, are you starting to connect the hollow wood now? Yan Jiao said impatiently. If I connect to the hollow wood now, will I be able to connect to the tribe at night? Subai asked. If there were only 3 of us, we could only go for a short period. Yan Jiao frowned and said, after all, he has to cut down trees and dig grooves. What if everyone in the tribe came to connect the hollow wood? How long does it take to connect to the tribe? Subai asked again. 1 day is enough. Yan Jiao said after thinking for a moment. Okay, let's get some branches to cover the reservoir, and we'll connect the hollow wood tomorrow, Subai said softly. Wu, why don't we start until tomorrow? It's still early and we can connect some hollow logs first. Yan Jiao said eagerly. To sharpen the knife and cut the firewood, let's cut the hollow wood first, and ask the people in the tribe to help make the concave and convex grooves in the evening. Wouldn't it be faster to just move it here and connect it tomorrow? Subai explained. At night, people in the tribe are idle, so don't go to bed so early. They can all work on the concave and convex grooves, which can save a lot of time. Moreover, it is more dangerous to be close to the water source. Yes, a few totem warriors have to cut hollow wood, make grooves, and prevent danger. You can imagine how many transportation water pipes can be laid in 1 day, but it may not be possible to transport water to the tribe in 3 days. However, others are still looking for plants to make linen. Yan Jiao is still thinking about azabu. If he were asked to choose between azabu and water, he would definitely choose azabu first. Haven't you found it yet? It's okay to stop for a day. Subai shook his head and said. All right, Yan Jiao responded helplessly. The route connecting the hollow wood, from here to the tribe, must go down diagonally, even if it takes a detour. Subai said with a serious face, especially in the distance near the water source, there must not be a section of hollow wood that is higher than the previous section. Otherwise, the water pressure will not be enough, and the water will not be sent to the tribe. Clear. Yan Jiao, Heya, and Degua responded in unison. The reservoir was quickly covered by branches, and Heya pressed a lot of stones on top. Subai glanced around and saw no problems, and said, "Let's go, take me back to the tribe." "Yes." Yan Jiao responded quickly. A group of 5 people rushed to the tribe along the way they came. Different from the complicated mood when they came, they now returned to the tribe with excitement and happiness. It took more than an hour and 5 the talent returned to the tribe, but the sun was already setting in the west, and there were only 2 or 3 hours left before dark. "Wu, I'll let someone cut down the hollow tree." Yan Jiao dropped these words and rushed into the forest with Heya and Digwa again. Most of the tribe members were in the gathering area, and there were also hollow trees there, which could just be cut down on the spot before the weather was too late. Transported back to the tribe before Hien. "Guru." Suddenly, Subai screamed from hunger. "Wu, are you hungry?" Yanhua said with a smile on her lips. "I'm a little hungry," Subai said helplessly. "Are you not hungry? You haven't eaten anything all day. On the first day as a witch, you didn't take a break. In the morning, you had a meeting to learn about the tribe's situation, then you found an assistant. At noon, you went to check the water source. I'm so busy that I haven't eaten yet. Wu, you go back to the tent first, and I'll get you some dried meat." Yanhua said quickly, twisted her hips and ran away. "I still don't know if she has a tail." Bai looked at the horned lady's buttocks and guessed, if I ask her face to face, will she be called a pervert? He turned around and walked towards the main tent, muttering, "No, there shouldn't be the title of pervert in primitive society. As long as there is support, the author will not be a eunuch. Please support me. I was a village chief in a primitive society." Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 27. Chapter 27, I seem to have done something wrong. Please add to favorites. Subai moved his arms and walked towards the main tent. He wanted to take a good rest. After walking on the mountain road for more than 2 hours, he was very hungry. He just opened the tent curtain and looked at the completely new interior of the tent, where items were neatly placed. "Is this my tent?" Subai hesitated. "Wu, you are back." Yu Ying's soft and waxy voice sounded from him. Subai put down the door curtain and turned around to look around. He saw the fox-eared lady holding a pile of hay. Her cheeks were dirtier than when she saw them in the morning. "Guru." Just as he was about to say hello, his stomach growled again. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes and looked at Subai's belly in surprise. Then she realized what she was doing and said in a panic, "I'll get the dried meat." "No need, Ahua will send you some dried meat later." Subai quickly called out to the fox-eared girl who was about to run away, lest the girl's trip would be in vain. "Then I'll light the fire first," Yu Ying said, holding the hay. She took a step forward, but immediately took it back. Her pink eyes looked at Subai timidly, not daring to enter the tent in front of Wu. "Come in," Subai said softly, taking the lead to enter the tent. "Yes," Yu Ying responded quickly. After Subai entered the tent, his first thought was that it was very clean, and he found that the ground was actually covered with new animal skins, and the fire pit in the middle of the tent was enlarged. He asked curiously, "You made the animal skins and the fire pit?" "The new animal skin was sent by Uncle Maimang." Yu Ying stood nearby obediently holding hay and replied, "Uncle Maimang's son Mai came to expand the fire pond." "Oh," Subai understood. "Maimang sent these here because he saved the other party in the morning." There was nothing in the tent. The main things were placed in a few boxes, followed by a wooden bucket filled with water, and a millstone. The big stone is also covered with new animal skins, which is equivalent to a table. In addition to these, there are 2 piles of hay, one large and one small, which are beds for sleeping. "Huh? Why is there an extra pile of hay?" Subai asked in surprise. "Is it not okay?" "I'll move out immediately." After Yu Ying heard this, she hurriedly wanted to take the hay out, thinking that Wu disliked the fact that there was an extra pile of hay in the tent. "Wait, tell me first, Why is there an extra pile of hay? Subai asked gently. That's where I sleep. Yu Ying lowered her head timidly. You mean, you want to live with me? Subai asked, glaring at his black eyes. Uncle Maimang said that witches should always be ready to serve witches. Yu Ying's voice is soft and waxy. Maimang is really capable of causing trouble. Subai rolled his eyes. What happened has already happened. It's not easy to drive out the fox-eared lady. Otherwise, if word spreads, Yu Ying will definitely be ostracized from the tribe. He exhaled softly and said gently, what about you? Do you want to live here? Yu Ying raised her head, looked at Subai's face with her pink eyes, and quickly lowered her head. It took her a while, then she blushed and whispered, I want to stay. Okay, then you can stay. Subai shrugged. I will try my best to be a good Miko, Yu Ying assured, waving her foxtail. Then I'll wait and see. Subai smiled and sat on the animal skin spread beside the stone table. After Yu Ying saw it, she quickly put the hay on her hay bed. She trotted to the wooden barrel and picked up the wooden cup was filled with water and carefully placed in front of Subai. Drink water. Subai looked at the water in the cup, and the scene of a crocodile rolling in a small lake in the mountain forest appeared in his mind, and a word came to his mind inexplicably, crocodile bathing water. Yu Ying blinked her pink eyes and looked at Wu, who was staring at the wooden cup in a daze, thinking that she had done something wrong. She asked nervously, Wu, is there something wrong with this water? Let's boil the water. Subai sighed. When he thought about the earth, he saw the parasite in the short video. Although he was very thirsty, he just couldn't drink the glass of water. The easiest way to kill the parasite is to drink water. Boiling and heating to over 100 degrees will kill most harmful parasites. Oh, I'll burn it right away. Yu Ying quickly took away the water cup, laboriously moved the stone pot and put it in the fire pit. She squatted down and started to light the fire. It seems that you need to make a filter, Subai murmured to himself, thinking of the harsh environment in primitive society, and felt that life-saving measures should be improved to prevent him from accidentally falling down while eating or drinking. When he was on Earth, he wrote a wilderness survival novel and checked some information on survival in the wild, including the simple method of field filter. Well, first you need a container. Subai got up, found an animal skin and a piece of charcoal, and started drawing on the stone table. Wu, can I come in? Yanhua shouted outside the tent. Come in, Subai responded without raising his head. After Yanhua came in, he saw the fox-eared lady squatting by the fire pit, her pink eyes looking at her eagerly, like an abandoned kitten. She handed over the dried meat. He lowered his voice and asked Xiao, what's wrong with you? Me, I seem to have done something wrong. Yu Ying took the dried meat, secretly glanced at Subai, who had his head lowered, and whispered, did I fail to do something well? Just now I gave the witch some water, but the witch asked me to boil the water. She became a Miko for the first time, and she was afraid that she would do something wrong. If the Miko looked a little strange, she would feel that she had done something wrong. Boil the water, Yanhua tilted her head and was full of doubts. Don't everyone just drink water? Why do they have to boil the water? She frowned and thought about it, but she didn't think there was anything wrong. Don't worry, I'll ask the witch for you, Yanhua comforted her. Asking for support, the author wrote about the fox-eared lady, which reminded me of my mentality when I had just graduated and started working to deal with my boss. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 28. Chapter 28, There are small bugs in the water. Please collect. Dun. Subai put down the charcoal and looked at the animal skin picture that only he could understand. He looked up and saw the horned lady standing next to her, stretching her neck to peek at the animal skin picture. Then their eyes met. Wu, I don't mean to peek. Yanhua blinked her red eyes, then realized what she was doing. She waved her hands in a panic and took a step back subconsciously. It's okay, Just watch it. The corners of Sudbai's mouth raised slightly. It was rare to see Niojiao Niang panicking. Call, when Yanhua saw Sudbai's lifeless look, her heart immediately relaxed. She just took a few peeks out of curiosity and was caught revealing herself. Yuying stared blankly at Niojiao Niang. Didn't she ask the witch about drinking water? Why did you just take a peek? Yanhua did not forget about her good friend. After calming down her emotions, she asked in a clear voice, Wu, don't you like drinking cold water? Like it? Sudbai didn't think too much and replied, drinking a glass of cold water can cool down on a hot day. Yuying pursed her lips and became depressed. This is it? Yanhua's tone was a little unnatural. She glanced secretly at her lost friend and asked bravely, witches like to drink cold water, why do they need to boil the water? Huh, when Sudbai heard this and saw fox-eared girl's disappointed expression, he immediately knew what was going on. He pretended not to know and said calmly, it is safer to boil the water. Why? Yanhua asked subconsciously. Yuying pricked up her fox ears and tried her best to listen to the conversation between the two, and also wanted to know why. There are small invisible bugs in the water, which can be killed by boiling the water, Sudbai said lightly, as if he was talking about a very small thing. Ah, Yanhua was so frightened by these words that her face turned pale. If Wu drank the water with bugs and something happened, the Yanlong tribe would be doomed. No, it won't. Yuying was so frightened that her face turned extremely pale, and her pink eyes were gleaming. She said in panic, which, I didn't know there were insects in the water. Sudbai was so frightened that he almost cried when he saw the two beast-eared girls. He said gently, okay, just boil the water. It's nothing serious. Xiao, I don't want this pot of water anymore, Yanhua shouted urgently, now we must eliminate all possibilities that may harm Wu. Good, Yuying immediately responded. Stop, don't pour the water. When Sudbai saw it, he quickly stopped him and said, there are small bugs in all the water. Just boil the water. If the water is poured out, he will have to wait for a long time to drink the water. Moreover, the hollow wood has not yet been received by the tribe, and the water is still in short supply. Wu, are you saying that all water has bugs? Does all include the entire tribe? Yanhua asked with her beautiful eyes widened in fear. All water, not only the water in the tribe, but also the water in the small lake, Sudbai said with certainty. Yanhua opened her mouth, her throat was very dry now, and she was so frightened that she could not speak. Wu, but everyone drinks this water all the time. Yuying said timidly. Let me ask you a few questions, Sudbai didn't explain. Good, the two of them nodded in unison. Have you ever noticed that someone around you suddenly has diarrhea? Some people suddenly foam at the mouth, some people suddenly fall ill. Sudbai said several characteristics of drinking raw water frequently. Of course, there are other factors, but the inducement after drinking raw water will increase to more than 50%. The tap water consumed in cities on the earth has been treated. And then boiling the water again will be no problem. But in primitive societies, raw water in the wild has not been treated. It contains bacteria, insect eggs, and some harmful minerals. If you drink raw water for many years, diarrhea will become a common occurrence. Yanhua's face, which had just regained color, turned pale with fright again, and she shivered all over, as if she was thinking of something bad. She swallowed her saliva and said with a trembling voice, it seems that there are several people, and 2 people are sick and died. Wu, what should I do? Yuying burst into tears, thinking that someone around her had been tricked by the witchcraft. The small bugs in the water are invisible to the naked eye. You have to magnify them dozens or hundreds of times to see them. If they are mixed in the raw water, if you drink them in the stomach, they will destroy the body's qi and blood. Over time, you will get sick and have diarrhea. Sudbai explained the dangers of bacteria in an easy-to-understand manner. The bug is actually so small, Yanhua and Yuying said in shock. So the easiest way is to kill them with high temperatures, Subai said softly. I understand. From now on, the water must be boiled before you can drink it. Yanhua breathed a sigh of relief, as long as there is still a solution. As long as you understand, I will leave it to you to ask everyone to boil water before drinking it, Subai ordered smoothly. Okay, Yanhua agreed without thinking. And this, please ask someone to make a few for me. Subai handed over the animal skin picture, and then explained this big one is a wooden tube. I want the opening to be smaller. Use a piece of animal skin to block the bottom, and then fill it with charcoal and sand. Divide it into 3 parts. Layer to install. His filter is an improved version. It has 3 layers of charcoal and 3 layers of sand. The filtered water will be much cleaner. Okay, Yanhua's red eyes were fixed on the animal skin picture, trying to remember what the witch said so that he could tell it to the most powerful carpenter in the tribe. Go ahead and prepare it for me tomorrow, Subai said softly. Then I'll go out first. Yanhua took the animal skin picture and trotted out of the tent quickly, rushing to convey the witch's request, lest she forget it later. As expected, like father, like daughter, both have fiery personalities. Subai sighed and turned to look at the fox-eared lady who was boiling water. He saw that the meat was dry and ordered Xiao, roast some meat and eat it. Okay, Yu Ying responded obediently, found a whittled stick, put on a piece of palm-sized dried meat, and grilled it on the fire. Subai saw the movements of the fox-eared lady and gave instructions: bake it with charcoal. Dried meat will not be blackened so easily and will taste delicious. Okay, Yu Ying quickly removed the dried meat from the flame and placed it on top of the red charcoal. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 29. Woo, the water is ready. Yu Ying filled a cup of hot water and placed it on the stone table. She swung her foxtail and ran back to the fire pit to stare at the roasted meat. Sizzling. The dried meat is roasted over charcoal and makes an alluring sound, filling the air with the aroma of meat. Guru. At the same time, Subai and Yu Ying's stomachs roared with hunger. Didn't you eat food today? Subai asked with a frown. No, Yu Ying replied in a low voice, her pink eyes fixed on the barbecue. Her saliva secreted so much that she secretly swallowed the saliva. Why do not you eat? Subai asked. My share of food, will be given to me by a witch in the future, Yu Ying said cautiously. The fox ears lay down and the fox tail stopped moving. If you are hungry, you can go get some meat for yourself, Subai said gently. He believed that with the status of the witch in the tribe, as his own witch, no one would stop him from getting a piece of meat to eat. No, it's not possible, it has to be given by a witch. Yu Ying shook her head stubbornly. She believed that only the food given by the witch belonged to her. Subai was really a little touched, but more importantly, he was filled with emotion. The people in the tribe were indeed very stubborn, and they were all people who accepted death. A stubborn person can sometimes be very reassuring, and he also likes to deal with such people. Since you say so, let's eat together. Subai got up and went to the fire pit, sat down cross-legged, picked up the whittled stick next to him, put on a piece of dried meat and started roasting it. Yu Ying was stunned, and then said in a panic, Woo, just leave the barbecue to me. You should go and rest. I'm just resting now, Subai said with a chuckle. But I have already roasted the meat. Yu Ying shook the barbecue in her hand. The palm-sized dried meat was roasted brown, but not a single part was black. This shows how seriously the fox-eared lady was turning the barbecue. Then give it to me. Subai took the barbecue unceremoniously, blew on it, and started eating. After chewing, he found that the meat was a bit hard and the aroma was very strong. The only bad thing was that the taste was too bland and a little fishy. Taste. Yu Ying squeezed her hands together tightly, her pink eyes fixed on Subai's face. with a hint of expectation hidden in her eyes. Very nice. After Subai swallowed the meat in his mouth, he praised, "You are the best person I have ever seen in this world who cooks barbecue." He didn't lie. When he traveled to this world, the fox-eared lady was the first person to give him barbecue. That's good. Yu Ying smiled and relaxed. She was in a very happy mood. She was even happier that the barbecue was recognized by the witch than being praised by the people in the tribe. "You can bake it too." Subai looked at the excited fox-eared lady. "Wu, eat first, I'll bake it for you." Yu Ying once again threaded a piece of dried meat with a wooden stick and grilled the meat with a serious expression. Just her twitching nose and the sound of secretly swallowing saliva from time to time showed that she really wanted to eat meat now. "Here, half for each person." Subai handed over the half-eaten barbecue. "Give it to me?" Yu Ying asked blankly. "Eat quickly. Only when you are full will you have the strength to barbecue." Subai stuffed the barbecue into the hands of the fox-eared lady. "Can I really eat it?" Yu Ying asked in a soft voice. She looked down at the barbecue in her hand and could clearly see the teeth marks on the barbecue, but there was no trace of disgust in her heart. Instead, she was full of emotion. "Yes, you can eat it." Subai nodded affirmatively. Wu Ying opened her mouth and made a cute sound, revealing a small right tiger tooth. She stuffed half a palm-sized piece of barbecue into her mouth, skillfully pulled out the wooden stick and chewed hard. Should I say she deserves to be a beast-eared girl? This thought flashed through Subai's mind. He looked at the fox-eared girl's bulging cheeks, like a little squirrel stuffed with food, chewing hard. The two of them roasted the meat quietly. A little salt would be better. Subai turned over the barbecue and sighed subconsciously, thinking of the various spices on the earth, but now he is eating tasteless barbecue. Yu Ying's fox ears twitched, and he said quickly, "Which? I'll get it." "Salt." "No." Subai quickly grabbed the fox-eared girl who was getting up and running out. He is now smarter and has to take action in advance to stop the tribesmen who act as soon as they say. Yu Ying obediently returned and sat down. She didn't ask why she wanted salt, but she stopped her from getting it. "Salt, let's leave it to those prepared warriors," Subai said softly. As the shaman of the tribe and the head of the tribe, he must be able to tolerate a little appetite. The young preparatory warriors need more salt to build up their strength and replenish the body's salt content. "They are not important," Yu Ying said while turning over the barbecue. "It's okay if you skip a meal of salt. You can go to the Spotted Deer tribe to exchange for more salt in a few days," Subai said nonchalantly. "Can I exchange a lot of salt?" Yu Ying's eyes lit up, and then dimmed. As the niece of Kang Shi, the leader of the hunting team, she had also heard that the tribe was having a hard time, and there was no extra meat to exchange for salt. "Don't worry, I've got everything covered." Subai took a bite of the roasted meat and said indistinctly, "The tribe will get better and better, you don't have to save that little food." Yu Ying's little hands were shaking a little, as if Subai had seen through some secret. "Eat quickly. Only when you are full can you help me work," Subai said softly. From the way Er Niang eats meat, he can naturally eat half a piece of meat as big as a palm in one bite. It is very likely that he is a person with a big appetite. Yu Ying pursed her lips and said with difficulty, then I'll eat another piece. I'll give you 3 more pieces of meat. Don't refuse, or you won't be allowed to sleep here tonight," Subai said with a straight face. "Sensible people work too hard." "I won't say no," Yu Ying said quickly, a hint of emotion flashed through her pink eyes. "Asking for flowers, asking for evaluation votes, and asking for monthly support. I was a village chief in a primitive society." Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 30. Chapter 30, Popularize Boiling Water. Seeking Collection. The sun sets in the west, and it's dusk again. Yan Jiao led a group of people out of the mountains and forests, and finally returned to the tribe before dark. At this time, there were many hollow logs piled in the open space in the center of the tribe, estimated to number 300 to 400. Blacktooth wiped the sweat from his forehead and said, "Chief, the hollow wood is still a little short of, how about I take someone to move some more?" "No, tomorrow we will have people carve grooves at the collection site, and then transport them to the water source, which will be closer." Yan Jiao shook his head and said, "There are still some hollow logs that have not been moved back at the collection site. Moreover, it is too dangerous to enter the mountains and forests at night. If you accidentally encounter a purebred ferocious beast, you may be in trouble." "Okay, let's leave early tomorrow," Heya said seriously. "Chief, I think a totem warrior should be left in the tribe." De Gua reminded, at this time the shaman is still in the tribe. Without the protection of the totem warriors, it is really too dangerous. "Yes, one totem warrior must be left in the tribe." Heya nodded hurriedly. "The witch went to the forest this morning, which really scared them. If something went wrong with the witch, they would not have the face to face their ancestors. There are too few totem warriors." Yan Jiao nodded helplessly and said, "Then let Heya stay. I'll go with De Gua and Waming tomorrow. I'll just stay." My Mang's weak voice sounded behind a few people. Now the Yanlong tribe is relatively remote, and no one pays attention to them. Having a totem warrior in the tribe can serve as a warning. Yan Jiao turned around and looked at it, and said with concern, "My Mang, how is your health?" "It's nothing serious, just a little weak. I'll make up for it by eating a few more pieces of meat." Maimang waved his hands and said indifferently, "You are so lucky, you are lucky enough to meet a witch." Hiya joked with a smile. "Ha," Maimang Hao smiled fearfully and sighed, "I really thought I was going to die, but luckily there is a witch here." Yan Jiao glanced around and asked, "Where is the frog croaking?" "He went on a tour," Maimang said in a deep voice. "One person is too few." Yan Jiao thought of the tribe's ancestral land being attacked by the Black Snake tribe, and said in a deep voice, "De Gua, you also go on patrol." Although it's a bit self-deceiving, 2 totem warriors definitely can't protect the entire tribe, but at least they can have an extra sense of security and can drive away some peeping hybrid beasts. "Good." De Gua nodded calmly, turned around and walked towards the forest. "What did you do with all the hollow wood?" Maimang asked curiously. "I don't know, but these hollow woods are good stuff." Black Teeth grinned, revealing a set of fangs. "Nice one? Was it ordered by a witch?" Maimang asked curiously. "Yes, hollow wood can transport water to our tribe." Heya vividly recounted what happened today. "Father, you are back." Yanhua hurriedly came forward, looking very nervous. Yan Jiao saw his daughter in a hurry and said anxiously, "What's wrong? Did something happen to the witch?" "No, the wizard is fine." Yanhua rolled her eyes and started talking about the bugs in the water. Yan Jiao was stunned after hearing this. His expression began to change, and he gritted his teeth and said, "Damn it, my Huo must have been killed by those bugs." Yanhuo, Yan Jiao's first child, fell ill and died when he was 3 years old. This has always been a pain in his heart. Maimang and Heya also heard Nio Jiao's story. There are actually invisible bugs in the water. How could such a weird thing happen? Heya said in a harsh voice, subconsciously touching my belly with his palm. "My wife, is it the same?" Maimang's eyes were red. One night 7 years ago, his wife suddenly foamed at the mouth and died. Hoo. Yan Jiao took a few deep breaths, suppressed the sadness in his heart, and looked at the people gathered around him. He suddenly stepped forward, stood on a pile of hollow logs, and shouted with a serious face, "People in the tribe must boil water to drink from today. Anyone who doesn't boil water to drink, it will be beaten by me." Silence. Everyone in the tribe looked at Yan Jiao in confusion. Some people were very unhappy with such an order. Why was it so troublesome to drink water? This is the witch's order. If anyone disobeys, I will beat him, Hiya suddenly shouted. It's the witch's order, we must obey it. Why do you need to boil water to drink? That's too hot. Shut up, Wu must have his reasons for doing this. Everyone started talking, and most people unconditionally trusted the witches. This was the prestige accumulated by generations of witches. Only a small number of people were complaining, but they only dared to say a few words. Yan Jiao breathed a sigh of relief and shouted loudly, "Everyone, let's start eating. Then it's time to work. We need to take care of these hollow logs tonight." After he finished shouting, he turned to Heiya and said, "Let's share some jerky with everyone." Good. Heiya nodded. "Father, the tribe doesn't have that many stone pots to boil water," Yanhua reminded in a low voice. This is why she was anxious to find Yan Jiao, otherwise the order would have been passed on long ago. The only container that can boil water in the tribe is a stone pot, but there are very few stone pots in the tribe now, and the remaining the 2 stone pots were built in the past 10 days, just for the old witch to stew meat. There are 72 people in the Yanlong tribe, and a lot of stone pots are needed to boil water. In primitive society, there was no iron. Yes, it would take 2 or 3 days for a stonemason to chisel it out. Let's go and see the witch. Yan Jiao turned to Yanhua and Maimang and said, "Maybe the witch can do something about it." Good.